The Prusa Core 1 is already a really solid printer, but one of the best parts about owning a Prusa machine is the community around it. People are constantly designing little upgrades and improvements that make the printer even better. So today, I'm installing 5 mostly free mods that improve things like nozzle cleaning, chamber heat retention, and even a bit of organization on the side of the machine. Let's start with the upgrade that I'm most excited about. But real quick, only about 2% of you watching are subscribed, and I'm trying to hit 25,000 subscribers this year. So if you enjoy this kind of content, consider subscribing. All right, let's start with the first upgrade. I'm genuinely really excited about this mod. One of the small annoyances I've run into with the Core 1 is that occasionally I'll get a nozzle cleaning failed error. This Stealth Brush mod lets you add a Bamboo Lab A1 style nozzle cleaner to the front of the bed, which gives the nozzle somewhere to wipe during the cleaning routine. Now, in order for this to work, you do need to make a small change to the starting G-code. And if you're using Prusa Slicer, open up your printer settings, then go over to the custom G-code section. In the start G-code, look for this section right here. What I did was copy the G-code from the printables page and just paste it in just like this. I also added a semicolon in front of the original line, which basically comments them out so they don't run anymore. That way, if you ever want to revert back later, it's really easy to do. Once that's done, the printer will wipe the nozzle right on the brush during the cleaning routine instead of using the bed itself. I printed mine in FILAMEnt PC Blend in orange, so it matches the Core 1's orange aesthetic. For hardware, you will need a couple M3 heat set inserts, 2 M3x8 screws, and one of the Bamboo Lab A1 style nozzle cleaners. And honestly, I'm a little surprised Prusa didn't include something like this from the factory. Let me know down in the comments below if you've ever run into a nozzle cleaning failed error on your Core 1. I'll put links down to everything I use down in the description below. The next upgrade is a really clever idea that I'm borrowing from Mandic Really. He designed these exhaust flaps that mount on the back of the Core 1. One thing I've noticed with the printer is that even when the exhaust fans aren't running, there's still a path for the heat to slowly escape out of the back of the machine. These flaps help keep more of the heat inside the chamber, which can be useful when you're printing materials that benefit from a warmer enclosure like ABS or ASA for instance. But the cool part is that when the exhaust fans turn on, the airflow actually pushes the flaps open so the hot air can escape. So it kind of acts like a passive valve for chamber airflow, which is a really neat design. It also doesn't use very much filament, and I printed mine in FILAMEnt PETG, so they have a little bit of heat resistance. Putting this together is super easy. You just slot the flaps into the housing and that's pretty much it. Just be a little careful when assembling it though, because the flaps can fall out of place pretty easily before everything is fully installed. To install it to the back of the printer, you just need 4 M3 bolts and it screws right into the existing holes on the back of the printer, so it's a really quick upgrade. Next up, my collection of build plates has started to grow quite a bit, and I needed somewhere to put them. Between texture plates, smooth plates, and specialty plates, they add up pretty quickly, and it wouldn't be a Rad Dad's Print Lab video unless I did something a little overkill. Well, thanks to today's sponsor PCBWay, I was able to get this file over on printables, printed in this really cool orange translucent resin using an SLA printer. SLA printing uses UV lasers to cure liquid resin, which allows for finer details and super clean looking parts. Just take a look at this thing. It is so flipping cool. I absolutely love how this turned out. Now, this design can hold up to 6 build plates, which is perfect because my collection of plates just keeps growing. And the best thing is that this is actually pretty heavy, so it should hold them without any issues. Now, PCBWay offers a bunch of different manufacturing services, including 3D printing, CNC machining, injection molding, and more. So if you've got a project that you want professionally made, they're definitely worth checking out. And if you want something like this made, check out the link down in the description below over to PCBWay. So this holder just slides into place on the printer. The one I have here doesn't have the magnet pockets, but if you print it yourself, it does take 6x2 magnets. For me, I'm probably just gonna add maybe a small strip of VHB tape to make sure that it stays in place. Next up is the Core 1 Plus upgrade. If you didn't know, the Core 1 received an official upgrade to a Plus designation, so if you have a newer printer, it's probably gonna come with these already. But for anyone like me with the older non-Plus version, you should definitely check these out. Now, this is probably the most involved mod out of everything here. Starting with the new filament sensor, this one does take a bit of work. You will need to remove the side panel to get proper access, which means dealing with those plastic rivets. So hopefully you still have some of those extras that came with your printer. You can reuse the old rivets, but I found that they're kind of a pain to get back in cleanly. Now, the original filament sensor thing, I actually had to break apart the original piece to get the magnets and the nuts out of it. So that way I could put them into the new piece. The benefit of the upgraded sensor though is that it makes it easier to load flexible filaments like TPU. And it also adds a switch to enable or disable the bypass, which is a nice touch. For the filament spool holder, this one's much more simpler. I printed mine in Prusament's PETG, and it screws right into place. Since I didn't have the official hardware kit, I printed an O-ring for it using some Overture TPU I had lying around. Probably should have dried it, but it still worked out pretty fine. I will have a link down to that O-ring file down in the description below if you need that yourself. And honestly, one of the coolest parts of this upgrade is the automatic vent opener. And depending on what material you're printing, it will automatically open and close the vent, which is a really nice quality of life improvement.
I guess I forgot to record where I install the top piece that goes onto the vent, but yeah, you will need to install something to the top of the vent where it can push onto. So in order to get the vent control to work, we will need to go into the settings, go to hardware, and scroll down till you find the chamber vent control and turn that over to auto. And then it'll open and close as it sees fit.
This last one is purely an aesthetic upgrade, but I think it adds a bit to the overall look to the printer. And best off, they don't use up very much filament. It's these caps that pop onto the corners of the Core 1. I printed mine in Prusa PETG Orange. Those were some really cool upgrades for the Prusa Core 1. Let me know your favorites down in the comments below that I should check out. And a quick thanks to my Patreon members. If you're interested in joining, there's a link down in the description for that. And before you go, if you want to see me take another Prusa printer just a bit further than it should have, check out this video right here where I upgrade my Prusa Mini. In fact, I'll see you over there. This is Adam from the Rad Dad Print Lab, and I'll see you next time.